What's up? I don't. Apparently, I just always have a zit now. I don't. Apparently, someone's doing acne spells. Like, can you imagine? I'm so okay. I came on here to talk about something else, but like, seriously, can you imagine? And I guess apparently a lot of y'all actually are doing this, and I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to put you down. It's not my intention is not to make you feel bad about yourselves, but like, I really can't wrap my brain around someone being that petty that they would actively perform like witchcraft just to give someone acne? Like, what are you doing, Regina George? Actually, it wasn't even Regina George. Like, they did it to Regina George. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's so crazy. That's just, like, it still completely boggles my mind that there's anyone in the world who has legitimately made, like, their whole entire adult life about taking me down. Like, it blows my mind that it would be, like, anybody would make that, like, it blows my mind that anybody would make their whole life about harming anyone, because it's like, if you're upset because they're blessed and you're not, what makes you think harming them is, like, you can't harm them. I mean, you can, clearly you can mess some stuff up and cause some delays and give the appearance, but you're not actually doing that because you don't actually have that power. Again, this is not what I came on here to talk about, and by the time I get to that, I'm probably not going to remember what it was. I already think I forgot. Yep, I forgot. Whatever, it's how my brain works. And it's the ADD. It's not even the cannabis. Honestly, the weird thing about it is the cannabis helps me focus, kind of like the Adderall, but it also can make me a little scatterbrained, it's weird because it helps me focus on whatever I'm trying to focus on, but then other aspects of it makes it worse. But that's okay, because like the amphetamines, they had ways in which they worked, and then ways that they were not helpful at all, and even very harmful. Wow. I don't know who gave me this rambling energy. Oh, that's right. I haven't slept. I couldn't ever fall asleep, and I have hit like that. Okay, anyone who deals with insomnia, especially anyone who studies psychology or like any of these things, like, that like, there's a such thing as insomnia induced mania. In fact, I think most people experience a level of mania if they, go a certain period of time without any sleep, like generally over 24 hours. But yeah, so I'm in that like manic phase. And it's really annoying. What did I come here to say? What did you tell me to come here to say? Hold on. Okay, but what was it? Let me pause for a second. 333 on the timer. Okay, I remember what it was. No, but seriously, y'all, this headline from ABC News is really annoying me. Like, if in fact there was a woman and her two sons somehow drowning in their vehicle in a creek, and I'm not saying it can't happen. I've not been to every creek in the world, okay? Some of them are a lot bigger, and some of them do have like some rough, what's it called, rapids and like little waterfall things and whatever. So like, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying it's unlikely. And I'm saying that the second that I read the headline, 5 sorority sisters, it literally sounds like they're writing comedy material for me, is what it sounds like to me. 5 sorority sisters rescued a mom and her 2 sons from a car that was drowning in a creek. Now, here's the thing. When I clicked on the link to read more of the story, because my first instinct is always my first instinct, and I used to always do more investigation before I would ever comment or react. Not always, but most of the time I would try to be in the energy of let me get my facts straight first. Don't let me just rip you with the first comedic, like, because that's the way my brain works, is like, usually when I first read a story, I am so emotionally detached from any details, and it is like, there's like a, sorry, I got weird lip skin. There's like a higher dimensional version of me that like is separated from it all and like understands that it's almost like it's all part of the divine comedy or something. Like, I'm not trying to make light of your situation at all, and I'm very sorry if I offend you, anyone. But that first initial reaction, I don't know if it's an autism thing, I don't know if it's a channeling the spirits of dead comedians thing, like, I don't know what it is, but like that initial reaction is always like that dark humor, that sarcasm, that like, it just comes, like, it comes to me, and it amuses me, like, in the moment, until, like, my first thing is like, oh, that's funny, but then I'm like, oh, that's sad. You know what I mean? Because, like, I actually do care as a human being, but also have a sense of humor. And, like, you can care and also have a sense of humor. Not having a sense of humor doesn't mean you care, and having a sense of humor doesn't mean you don't care. So let's just get that straight. But, like, when I see a headline like that, my instinct reaction is like, how deep was that creek? Like, why did it take 5 sorority sisters to... Whew. And then I tried to click on the link so that I could see more about the story, and it literally said, page does not exist, twice. And the funny thing about it is it hit me like that was confirmation that the whole entire situation was staged. And so now it feels like what they've done is they've gone and they've fabricated a story to, I don't know, to sell a narrative, that's so insane to think about, right? Can you imagine being a conspiracy theorist who thinks that the mainstream media news might be selling fake stories that are made up, or like in some way overblown, planned ahead, exploited? Like, let's just like call it what it is, okay? Like, it's fine if you set yourself up to get famous through one of these headlines. But what I don't understand is, why are we doing this? Like, if you want to sell the narrative that women are strong and brave, like, you could just go find strong and brave women and tell our stories. Like, there are plenty of us who are out here doing pretty badass shit every single day of our lives, even. And no one bothers to tell our stories. No one bothers to interview us. No one bothers to say, oh, by the way, this amazing person said this thing and it inspired the right people in the right way to spread that inspiration, to create sweeping change, not just across the nation, but across the entire globe. Like, those aren't the stories you want to tell, though, are they? You want to tell the made-up story of 5 sorority sisters rescuing a mom and her 2... Like, I'm not trying... Again, if this is a true, actual thing that actually took place and these people were actually scared, and it was, and even if it wasn't all that, and it was literally what I'm imagining it to have... See, I see how it went down in my head. Like, I see a vision, an image, sort of what actually went down, and they're like, the whole time, they're like, we're going to spin this, we're going to tell this story like it's... Because in their minds, like, this was a major thing. Like, and I'm not... Again, everybody's path is different, and trauma looks different to everybody, okay? And trauma doesn't always have to be negative. Like, crashing your car in a creek is negative, but, like, surviving the ordeal is positive. Having happened upon this incident and having had the opportunity to help people come out of this ordeal, like, that's significant. That's a significant... I would say a net positive trauma. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though there's no such thing as I wouldn't say that there's a fully, like, positive trauma per se. Like, even childbirth, like, isn't all completely 100% positive. You know what I mean? Like, not for everybody anyway. But if the fallout of the trauma is more positivity than negativity, if, like, the lessons learned from that one incident are far-reaching, not only for the people involved, but for anyone who that story gets shared with, then that's a good thing. So I'm not knocking the story and I'm not knocking the people. And like, if it truly happened, cool. But how it feels is it feels that it was extremely staged and or like exaggerated, like blown out of proportion. Like in my mind, I just see a car in a creek and like 5 sorority sisters are like, dude, we can get our Girl Scout badges. Like, I know that's not a thing, but like, we can go help these people out of this car real quick and like, we'll get our badges. Like, I don't know what sororities are like. I didn't get to go to, like, I went to community college and then online scam school. Yeah, I feel like there was more takes on that I had. Like, I feel like I had something actually sort of profound and important that needed to be said. Because generally, when I'm monologuing in my head and it's all just silly, funny things that amuse me, I don't necessarily feel the need to pull out and record. And also, 11:11. I wasn't looking for it. No, it was like at 11:09, and then all of a sudden it hit me. It was about to be 11:11. Whatever. Like, why do you have to distract me with numbers? That's so dumb. If you're gonna distract me with numbers in my bank account. How about that? How about like just pop up with a deposit in my bank account? That'd be great. Cash tag kryptonite, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Is that what they call it? Cash tag? Like, I would just say $, but whatever. I don't know. I lost it. I had it, but I lost it. And also I intended to look, like, I was going to do a video later tonight, but I was going to do something first. I was going to have, I don't know, maybe put on a nice top and fix my hair and done, I don't know, whatever. I was going to do something, and yes, that's me snapping. I didn't realize it. Here's the problem. I've spent too much time alone, and I am extremely autistic because I don't know if we know this about autism, because I don't know what all we know about autism. I mean, I've done quite a bit of research, but like, I haven't done that much research since I realized I was on the spectrum, which is weird. I know, right? It should go the other way around, but it's like I've been more experiencing it and researching it that way, if that makes sense. But I don't know, like, if it's been studied and proven or whatever. But it is definitely my experience so far that the less socialized we are, the more autistic we become. Like, I mean, not that there's like, I don't want to say more autistic. That's so dumb. But like, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of like a spectrum of severity, like, the more isolated we are from social interactions, just dealing with other humans directly, humanity in general, like, it's harder to know how to mask when you're not around any neurotypicals or any other autistic people who are masking. If you are on the spectrum and everyone you're around is on the spectrum and no one around you masks, which, cool, let's all take our masks off and just have a party. Like, I don't, like, why do we even pretend to not be weird? We're all weird. There's nothing wrong with it. Actually, the world would be a better place if we could embrace our weirdness. Would it not? Like, not within reason. Okay, like, don't go getting like ideas. You know what I mean? Like, we're not embracing we're not embracing certain types of weirdness, although we will embrace those who have those types of weirdness who choose to get help for them. Because there's nothing what's wrong is having a disorder and not seeking treatment for that disorder because you don't want to admit that you have a disorder. That's what's wrong. Like, what's wrong is having a problem and refusing to admit that you have a problem. And I say this wholeheartedly as someone who was refusing to admit to my alcoholism. Like, even as I logged into that first meeting and, you know, they had me like introduce myself or whatever, and I was like, Christy, and I don't know if I'm an alcoholic. Like, I fucking knew. Like, But also, I don't know. Like, I've never fully, like, identified as an alcoholic. Like, I guess it's because I personally didn't have a desire to drink to begin with. Like, I kind of already knew about myself that I would probably be an alcoholic if I drank, and that's why I actively attempted to avoid alcohol. And then when I was kind of pushed into it, at, like, literally the moment I turned 21, it was unleashed. 3 months of hardcore binge drinking, followed by like 3 years of being a mom. So if you don't want 3 years of sobriety while you're breastfeeding and dealing with a small child, then maybe don't start drinking on your 21st birthday. That's just a thought. Wow, I'm on here 16 minutes now. I don't even know why. It's because I still feel like there was something I was supposed to say, but I can't remember what it is. But that's like an eternal feeling that I have when I'm in this state of mind, is like, I'm forgetting something, I'm forgetting something, I'm forgetting something, and I can't go to sleep because I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what I'm forgetting. In the process of trying to remember what I'm forgetting, I think of all these other things, and then I forget that I'm forgetting something. And then it's just whatever. It gets to a point where it's like, oh, wow, now I am more awake than I've ever been in my entire life. So what's the point of going to bed now? All right, 16:33. Peace out.